I wouldn't say there's no hacks. The point there was more that if you're looking for the hack, you're missing the point. So if I'm just looking for a hack on how to get more and more out of my shutdown state, there could be something helpful there, but I'm also missing the point of feeling and being in the moment. You know what I mean? Because when you're looking for the hack, you're evaluating and you're saying, if I splash water in my face, am I fixed now? Am I better? Like that's kind of the way I view it, versus becoming curious about these hacks, maybe like splashing water in your face, and then really feeling it. So the hacks or the recommendations, awesome. Like I think it's don't ignore them, but we want to come from a place of curiosity and really feel the experience of these things. That's more what I meant. I agree with you about the point and not looking to a hack, but I'm thinking it's maybe coming from the huge community of people with chronic health conditions. Oh, interesting, such as ME/CFS that I have been diagnosed with, or POTS. So many of these chronic health conditions, we are now learning that they have at their core an autonomic nervous system dysfunction. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. When I'm suffering in my current state, then I really want a hack to get me out of that. Sure. But I think feeling the feels has value too. Sure. It's a capacity to be with what is that can make it hard. For absolutely. I think that those who are sick are realizing that their autonomic nervous system is out of whack, causing all of these other very real issues in their body, and are looking for how to address it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Margaret. That makes a lot of sense. And of course, we want the hack. I know, like I know we want the hack. I don't know if it's really out there. And in my opinion, that the hack that people are proposing is probably something that works for their system. I think that there's probably more general things that we can do that are more universal. I mean, it's biology ultimately. So there's probably more general things that we can do. But that to me, it's not that simple. And I think that these more general things are probably very state dependent. We're talking about the autonomic nervous system, so it depends on kind of where we're at on the political ladder. That if the hack is to splash water in your face, if you're in a shutdown state, that might not be very helpful at all. If you're in a sympathetic state and really anxious and you need that like grounding, maybe it would be helpful. I could see that being helpful. But again, you still have to like I think you still have to experience it. You really have to feel not the feelings of the pain, the feelings of the sensation of splashing water in your face. That's what I mean. So these hacks probably are state dependent. These hacks probably come from someone that really believes in them and is already doing them. You know what I mean? So like I think I've talked about dancing therapists on Instagram. Dancing can be a fantastic way to self-regulate. It can be. For me, hell no. I do not like dancing. I generally hate to dance. That's probably more my shutdown state. I can dance with my kids when I'm in a playful energy. But like I said, I exist in kind of a shutdown. That's my home away from home, a shutdown. So is dancing going to be a way for me to self-regulate? Maybe. Probably not, but maybe a certain type of dancing. Maybe if I'm more doing more of a slow kind of thing, maybe. Um, but the dancing works for somebody who is already in a playful state, is pretty well regulated probably, who likes movement a lot in that way. I like movement a lot, but I'd rather play catch with somebody. That playing catch for me is extremely grounding. I love that. Like that's my way of self-regulation, or easily could be. Ultimately, Margaret, yeah, Margaret says, I agree that there is no hack. We just have to begin to recognize ourselves and our patterns. I mean, in like the grand schemes, think about this as like a timeline, like over the large timeline. Yeah, we should probably be learning what works for us individually. And that's so building safety anchors, my course is 30 days. Like the point is to figure out over 30 days what works for someone as an individual. But in the moment, I think it's worth it to try out those hacks. I think it's important to try them out before the fact, like before we're in a panic attack or something like that, or before we're in a deep depressive shutdown kind of place, is to figure out what works for us, what do we like, what do we dislike before those things hit. And then when they do hit, then it's like, okay, I know I have my menu of options to help me climb my polyvagal ladder when I'm in this state. And then hopefully we'll have ideas of what works per state, per whatever state that we're in. That's something that Deb Data recommends also in her. She has a couple of books that go into that and building a menu of options. Deb Dana says that she doesn't really respond well to breathing exercises. Oh, really? That same thing. Yeah, me too. And I really like spinal twisting and turning my head in different directions and noticing my environment. Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't like prescribed breathing. It doesn't work very well for me. My watch tells me to breathe a few times a day to go through this breathing thing, and I do it, and I don't really like it. I don't know why I keep doing it, but I'll try it. And the pacing of it's like too fast. I don't want to breathe the way that my Apple Watch wants me to breathe. Um, seeing people breathe in for 5 seconds or holding it and then breathing out, and to me, I don't like that. I don't like that prescribed breathing. I'd rather just feel the way that I need. I'd rather feel into my body when I'm like meditating or something like that, and truly just breathe the way I need to breathe and feel into it. I'll feel in a shutdown, I'll feel the shallow stuff, but I'll just breathe in a very shallow way and let it be. And then I'll notice that I might start breathing up in my chest naturally as more sympathetic energy comes in my system. That I can feel the expansiveness in my chest, and that I naturally just sort of breathe up there. But that comes from just noticing what I need or what my impulse is to do as far as breathing, and then allowing it to be, and just kind of being with the organism of my body basically as as it needs to. The prescribed stuff again, if you're, it's a state dependent thing. If you're being told to breathe for this amount of time, or breathe in this amount of time, breathe out this amount of time, depending on the state we're in, our breathing needs different things. If we're in a sympathetic state, we can probably breathe in quicker. Actually, breathing in and out would be faster naturally in a sympathetic state. So if your prescribed breathing is up in the chest for like short bursts, that would make a lot of sense in a sympathetic state. I don't know if that works very well if you're in a shutdown state. I don't think that works very well. I don't know if that can. I think the idea is to trigger or to exercise these polyvagal states through breathing. I personally don't care for it, but if that's the value of it, I can see that being helpful if someone can do that. That's just not my style.